Almost 1 year ago, I saw this video of the Caribbean Sea. But first I want to explain you what the ocean does to me. Because to me the ocean is very rough, peaceful, magnificent and beautiful. But this was not what I saw in this video. I saw tons of plastic floating in the ocean. And I saw plastics I use every day in my life. So I kind of feel responsible in a way, because I use them every day. I even saw my favorite toothbrush floating in the ocean. And since that moment, my passion about plastic grew. Plastic is invented 100 years ago. The brown, stinky goo, how we also could call it. And first, we invented plastic for furniture, houses, cars. Almost everything is made of plastic. But then something strange happened. We start to use plastic as a disposable, so coffee cups, straws. But plastic is an indestructible material, so we are using the plastic right now just once to throw it away, but it is unbreakable. Plastic will take between 500 and 1,000 years to break down. So why would we do it? So I was wondering why, but to give you some facts, almost every year 8 million tons will enter our ocean or our environment. And if we don't change this, by 2050, plastic will outweigh the fish in the ocean. So there will be more plastic in the sea instead of fish. But this is not the most dangerous part about the plastic pollution. The most dangerous part is called microplastics. Microplastics are pieces of plastic smaller than 5 millimeters or even smaller. And I did a little experiment myself with the microplastics, which you could see in this vase. And the funny thing is that microplastics is also eaten by fish and by seabirds. But guess what? Who also eats fish? We humans. So we are also eating plastic, so to say. And with this experiment, I tried to search for why plastic is breaking down in such little pieces. And according to In a Nutshell, 70% of the microplastics or normal plastics will sink in the ocean because of UV radiation. But the funny thing about this is I kept this vase for 3 weeks, just let it stay. And then when I drove to this talk yesterday, the pieces were broken down. So that was quite funny. But before I will go on, I want to tell you more about the toxic of plastic. And I will highlight 2 of them. We have a plastic toxic called BPA. And BPA makes sure that we have transparent plastic, so we can look through it, because that's very important to us. But BPA can interfere with our hormonal system. But we all knew that, right? And another toxic is DAHP, which measures that the bottle is flexible. Oh, sorry. But it may cause cancer. But we all knew this. But then I thought, sorry, I have to go to the slide with the microplastics. So then I thought, what could be possible solutions? How can we handle this problem? So first I found a term upcycling. And upcycling is basically a term which shows us that you have a product or a thing and you reuse it again to give it another purpose. So if you would maybe go to the next slide, please, because this is not working. Then you see that we have some wooden pillows and pillows. And if we recycle this, you can make a new couch out of it. So instead of buying a new couch and having plastic packaging again, you can make your own. And I experienced this myself as well, upcycling, but it didn't work out. Because you can upcycle a couple of things, but you cannot upcycle everything in your house. You still need to do some groceries, or you still have to buy products. So upcycling was also not the answer to this plastic pollution problem. And according to the Danish government, they did a recent study that plastic is bad for the environment, but also a couple of alternatives which should be sustainable are also not good for the environment. Because producing this cotton bag is worse for the environment than creating a plastic bag. To be precisely, we have to wear this cotton bag 7,000 times when we have a lower impact upon our environment. At that moment, I was really confused. Like, okay, plastic is a problem, sustainable alternatives are not the problem, so what's the solution? What's the solution to this problem? And then I thought, maybe I should not look for the answer. Maybe I should look for another approach of handling this problem. Because banning plastic is also not the solution, because 1/3 of the food what we eat right now is already spilled or rotten, and plastic do measures to keep it fresh. So to be honest, at this moment we do not have a good alternative, so we often have to use plastic. Could you maybe go to the next slide? Then I thought of this another approach, hard and complex problems. A hard problem is a problem you could solve via good people, good money, and good resources. Combining the three of them, and you will probably solve the hard problem. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but you will manage. A complex problem, on the other hand, are a lot of problems connected to each other. So if you would do something positively on one hand, there will happen something negatively on the other hand. So you will not solve it by good people, right money, and right sources. And then I recognized that this is the same with the plastic pollution. We cannot solve the plastic pollution by only upcycling or banning plastic or wearing cotton bags. But in my opinion, we have to change something about our individual impact. We all throw away maybe sometimes something on the street, and we don't think about this fact a lot. But I am willing to wear this cotton bag 7,000 times more than using this one, because I think that's very important, that we use reusable bottles, or maybe eat 5 days in a week meat and two of them vegan. Then we already create impact by just adjusting little things. Can you maybe go to the next slide? Maybe you've heard it about the Schelling. 270 containers slipped off a ship in the ocean. Breaking news, national news, it was all over. But every minute a container full of plastic enters our ocean, and we don't hear anything about it. But suddenly it's close to the Netherlands and it's getting our attention. Can you maybe click to the next slide? Even military people are cleaning the beaches. Probably we're waking up right now. And I want to make a metaphor related to going to the doctor. Because when we're ill, we visit the doctor. And in most occasions you will probably not have enough exercise, good food, you maybe smoked, and maybe you drink enough alcohol. Could be. But then you're willing to change your complete lifestyle in order to live longer. But what if I told you with the plastic problem, it's kind of the same. If we do not adjust little things at this moment, and together with all of us create impact, we will have to visit the doctor in a few weeks with all of us, because then we have to adjust enormous things. 93% of every adult has BPA in their urine. So let's say this section of the audience, you know, who interferes with your hormonal system. Could you maybe go to the back slide? And according to Matt Willikins, a postdoc researcher, he stated like, more recycling won't solve the problem. But your individual behavior, by changing that, that will fix the problem. And that's also my truly belief. If we together decrease our behavior of plastic using, for instance, or what we do with bags or toothbrushes, a bamboo toothbrush could also be something. And if we do that by little things, I think we can really make a difference. And of course we have to clean the beaches still. And of course we have to do a lot of other things. But if we just start with ourselves, I truly believe we can make a difference. And I want to use this Rubik's Cube to tell you about this last part, because this cube represents two things for me. The process of my research and also the plastic pollution problem. Because I really thought that I would find the answer inside if I would have the right colors. So I was like, doing my research, and I didn't find the answer. And then, coming back to the hard and complex problems, I found out that the plastic pollution and the process of my research is complex. So now I'm focusing on which turn do I take. And that's the same with plastic. That's way more important instead of finding that one solution which is inside. And as a social young innovator, I still don't know where I will fit in this plastic pollution problem. But I know for sure that I will be part of some process instead of wanting to be the world changer by getting the solution. And that's the best part of my research, that I found that I want to be part of a process and not become part of a solution. Thank you all and enjoy your day.